Yo, welcome back to the channel. The X-Ray doesn't have any heat and wintertime's coming and it's gonna need to be a daily driver. That's why today we're replacing the heater core. All we have to do is tear apart the entire dash and interior. Shouldn't be that bad. Nope, it's definitely gonna be that bad. Let's get into it. So before we can even start with the dash, the center console has to come out. Shifter is gonna have to come off. You just pull it, pop this cover, it just pops right out. I have all kinds of wires. That kind of sucks. I'm gonna see if I can just leave that right there. And then there's just one screw on the inside. There's supposed to be a screw in the compartment here at the bottom. Mine does not have it. You link up on the e-brake, put her in four wheel. Get this out of the way. This just pops off, allegedly. There it goes. You gotta pop off the cover on the four-wheel drive. Another screw underneath that. Oh, I also forgot to mention, I popped the hood so I could disconnect the battery. That way the interior lights weren't running the whole time. That console's out of the way, we can start getting some other things, like the glove box. Get this trim panel out, the lower kick panel. Well, ain't too bad. Same thing over here. You know, on paper, this job doesn't sound that bad. There's just a lot of little screws, trim panels. Definitely not as bad as the second gen dash. And did I mention, we don't even need to take the dash completely out. We just need to pretty much unbolt it enough to get out of the way, and then we can get in there to the heater core. So it's not terrible. We need to remove this panel, 4 screws, and it'll just pop right off. And again, I have switches, which is gonna be annoying. I need to take a picture of that. I don't have my phone. So it's red, yellow on top and black on the bottom. Don't let me forget that. I'm hoping I can just lay this here. This top cover just pops off. Get that out of the way. This metal plate also needs to come off. I just need to unclip some of these zip ties that I used for wire routing. Another thing you may have noticed is the seats are out. I took them out. Definitely not required. I'm just doing a seat swap next on this thing. And honestly, I almost would not recommend taking them out, because on that passenger side, I broke 3 of the 4 bolts off getting it out because they were so rusty, which is fine. I'm going to be in here again to replace the seats like I was saying. Not a big deal. But if you were just trying to get this job done real quick, get your dash out, and you just want to take your seats out to have more room, and you broke off the bolts, that'd probably make you mad. You'd probably go home and slam your screen door. Hey, Jimmy. How'd you know I have a screen door? Well, probably because you drive an XJ. Now we're going to see if we can lower the steering column. First, I'm going to take out, there's a nut, one on each side. Take out the other side, see what happens. Is that all it takes? Apparently, unless I'm putting some stress on something else, but I think we're good. Some guys will tell you to take out the whole column. No thanks. Next, along the top, we have some 10mm mounting bolts. Oh, nuts and bolts. Hey, don't want to scratch up my 2016 inspection stickers. Now in each corner at the bottom, down here, there's a 1/2-inch bolt. And just like the second gen, it looks like there's a slot, so you don't have to take it all the way out. You just got to loosen it. I wonder if these need to come out. I'd say yes. What happens if we just start yanking on it? Ooh, that side's out. What's going on over here? There we go. That's kind of in the way. All right, what needs unplugged? Oh, so all we're really interested in is getting the passenger side disconnect enough to swing out of the way. This box back here is what we're after. We're just gonna unplug only what we have to, like this vacuum connection right here, radio antenna, and this dome light, or not dome light, floor light. And that should allow us to really just swing this guy out of the way. We're gonna be done in the cab for now. These will need unplugged eventually, but I'm gonna wait till they're in my way. Now moving up front, we got a couple things to do. We got a total of 5 bolts to undo. and 4 connectors. We got the AC lines and then the 2 coolant lines. And a lot of this junk is gonna be on our way. Get this out of the way. Not even the factory location. I routed it up there when I put on an aftermarket bumper. We'll get these AC lines off first. There's the little protective clips that just pop right over. You're gonna need one of these line disconnect sets. So maybe do this part first. Because if you tear apart your whole interior, then come to the front, find out you can't disconnect your AC lines, well, that poor screen door. That one came off. Now, if your AC works, this part's gonna be fun for you, because as soon as you pop these lines off, you're gonna get refrigerant everywhere. I wonder if unbolting this bracket would help. You know what? Unbolting that bracket would help, because those 2 bolts have to come out anyway. The bottom one you can't see, but it's directly below it. Coolant lines next. There we go. Come on now. Get these tucked up out of the way. Now, the other 2 are gonna be a pain to get to. One of them is down here in the corner, down yonder, right there. And then there's 2 behind the valve cover. One of them is up here and it's shared with one of these clips that holds the wire loom. So you gotta pop the wire loom off and then get the bolt off. And the other one is even farther down behind more of the cylinder head. I wonder if I can even show you. Get the camera in there. Right there, right in the middle of the screen. That's the lower bolt, and then one above it. Taking off this bracket's gonna give me some more room. That might help a little. See if I can get down there with the... Should have bought the long reach. We'd be there. Hey, hey, that. God.
Good over there?
Yeah, I'm good. Hand tools it is. See if I can get my hand in there. Ow. Yep. Oh, I feel like the whole stud is spinning, which is not good. Oh, it is too. Okay. Keep composure. All right, let's try and get the mother ends off. That one did the same damn thing. The stud is just spinning. This is turning into a nightmare. Guess we'll try to get the bottom one off without issue, maybe. Doubt it. It'd be easier to pull the engine. This would work really nice if they were flex head ratchet wrenches. Might just have to do this 1 turn at a time. Wonder what kind of tools Dad has. That might work. Nope. Oh, it doesn't even freaking work. Stupid blue point. It's turning. This is gonna take a while. Well, considering all the studs were just spinning, I guess we're doing this the hard way. I got this dumb thing out, and there's plenty to show you guys. Since them studs were just spinning, I put a crowbar back here and just yanked it out, and they pulled out. That one broke off. Let me show you. What's holding it in there, it's just like a threaded screw kind of that just threads into the plastic of the airbox thing. So that one pulled out, the top one pulled out, and then the bottom one broke off that plastic piece. So the plan is now to get back here with the Sawzall and try and surgically remove this piece, and then maybe get a vice grip on the back end of these and try to take them out again. I wouldn't really have an issue if we weren't able to get the bottom one to go back in. The top one, the side one, and then these 2 were fine. I think we'll be all right. Oh, and the door fell off. No idea where the Sawzall got to, so cut off wheel it is. Anything on fire? All right, let's get a vice grip on that stud. See if we can salvage it. You keep an eye on that while I do this part. What's it doing? Is it coming? Now the key is not to drop this nut on top of the transmission. Got it. Oh, nope. Yep, got it. Then I have some crowbar damage. That plastic piece popped off right here. JB weld that. We'll have to go find that one in here. JB weld that. There you can see the heater core. Yeah, having lots of fun. Back to the mission. We gotta get these 2 halves separated. That way we can get our heater core out. But before we do that, I wanted to mention this little drain hose needs to get popped off the firewall. And then this vacuum plug, it'll come out right here. That needs to get unplugged too, along with the bolts and everything else I showed you. Anyway, first thing to do is take off the blower motor, some 5/16 screws holding that thing in, and then it's plugged in. Actually, we could probably just put it right there. Right along the seam, you have clips, and then you have more 5/16 screws all around the thing. Think I got them all? That might be one too. We'll just take it out. I think we're just gonna have to cut that. pull on it, see what happens. Found one hiding. These are gonna have to be disconnected, just the brown one. All right, you can come off now. Ah, that'll do it. And all that work, and this thing isn't even bolted in, just slides right out. All right, I'm JB welding these studs back in. I already got this one in up here, and they actually do want to thread in a little bit, but I'm still gonna put JB weld on it just to make sure they're nice and tight. I'm actually gonna thread one of these nuts all the way on here, thread it all the way down, carefully turn the stud into the plastic and just snug it up. All right, we're actually pulling through here. I was able to find all the plastic pieces that broke off. JB weld, and then there's some cracks that I had to JB weld also, and then this is that bottom mounting bolt that broke off that we had to cut off with the cutoff wheel. So that actually snapped into place nicely, JB weld around it. Now what we can do, put our new heater core in place. A couple things to note, stuff that came out. This little door here came out. That just slides on right here, like that. And then this little ring for the blower motor has some tabs on the side, pops into there like that. We're just gonna simply set the new one in, and then put our two halves together, button it back up. Sorry, two more things to mention when you're putting your two halves back together. This door, one of the hinge pockets, I guess you'd call it, is right there. You need to make sure that lines up. And then this door right here, you can kind of see the indentation right there for that to snap into. The top half has the exact same thing right here and here. Just make sure those line up when you're squishing it back together. Fully assembled, got the blower fan back in there, all the screws are in, got the vacuum lines plugged back in. I didn't show you guys, but these plugs have to come off of they just pop into here. They gotta come off to separate the two halves. But everything's plugged back in, got the interior cleaned up, so we're ready to try to throw that thing back in here. I love when projects take 10 times longer than they're supposed to. Get on in there. In position, kinda. Hanging up on them wires. Looking good on the front side. Let's send her home. One. Can I see what's going on? Come on, flashlight, don't fail me now. Hard to tell. There we go. All right, I got all the mounts started, and I'm not playing around here. Everything is gonna get tightened down by hand. Starting with the two here with the mounting canister, because they didn't break at all. They're not JB welded. Got it snug. Do the bottom one. Let's get that one behind the valve cover. First of the JB welded ones. Getting snug, good sign. Don't overdo it, good. And now for the pain in the butt one down here in the corner. That'll work. Put this bracket back on before I forget about it. This thing can get put back on its studs. Oh, where'd I put those? Nuts. Wait a minute, that's not what these are for. What do these come off of? For some reason, I thought that bracket had two sets of nuts on it. Wrong. One step forward, two steps back. Where are them nuts from? Oh, those are 10 mil. Where'd I take off 10 mil nuts? Ah, shoot. I should have plugged that back in before I tightened it. Get it together. Oh yeah, that vacuum line that comes out of that box goes into this T-fitting. Boop. Click. There it went. Where's the other one? Coolant. Got the lower and the upper. Man, can someone tell me where I can find an Amish guy with a leaf blower? Oh, everywhere? Cool. Now that's it under the hood, except where did those 10 millimeter nuts come from? All wrapped up under the hood. We're good to head inside, button everything up. Found where the two 10 millimeter nuts went. They're for the top of the dashboard. I got them confused with these. But these are for the steering column, so no extra hardware on this one. Well, we're not done under the hood, I lied. But anyway, we're very close. Gonna hook the battery back up. Nope, lights are on. Oh man, that means I put the switch in backwards. Oh well. Hope everything else still works. Battery hooked back up. Now the thing to do is turn on the engine and for one, let the coolant system bleed. And two, see if this thing leaks. Better not. Let's do it. Oh, neutral safety switch. Make me use both hands. All right. Ventilate. Leaking? Not yet. I guess while we wait for it to get up to temp, we can make sure all of our different levels work. See the changes. That's all still working. That's good. All right, there ain't no air bubbles. I'm gonna plug this off and we'll keep going. No leaks. Good to go. Pretty well up to temp, and we got heat. Oh, buddy. Good deal. Whoop. Look, I'm sorry for doing back-to-back XJ videos, but this thing is about ready to get out of the shop. Now that the brakes are good, we got heat. All that's left really is to do seats, and that tire needs air. That'll be the next XJ video, new seats for that thing. And if we take a look at the parts shelf, we got LS1 valve covers, ARP head bolts, head gaskets. You know what's going on. Doing a head swap on the Vet. I don't know when that's gonna be, but it's coming up. That's gonna wrap it up for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.